Okay. Okay, so we have 3 questions that y'all wrote on the Team Esteem page or that you submitted. So I'm going to go through those. Really, really great question. I think this one was from Lindsay about having a customer Facebook page or like kind of a Facebook page hub for people who have completed challenge groups with you or who are working with you somehow, and you just kind of want to put everybody in the same spot. Basically how to stay connected after that challenge group. So I did that for a while. I did that for probably the first year or maybe even a little bit more after I was a coach or after I first became a coach. But I think some coaches have major success with this. And for me, I honestly I didn't have really any success with having a Facebook group for my customers or past challengers. A lot of that was probably my fault as far as communication. It was one of those things where sometimes I would like Hootsuite something or sometimes I would post live, but it was like that group that I always forgot about. Nobody really responded when I had that page. Some of you, I think, maybe were on that page at some point. But it's like I never really had an organized way of telling people or checking in with people from that Facebook page. So your upline might have total success with this, or somebody else on Team Esteem might have total success with this. I wasn't getting the response that I wanted as far as, people actively commenting and asking questions. So what I did, it also got kind of like too big. After, so many challenge groups and years of working the business, I had like hundreds of customers and past challengers. So I honestly closed down that Facebook page. I told people that I was going to do that. A lot of them, ended up liking my business page, my Fit to the Bone page, so they kind of stay connected with Facebook posts there. But what I do now for all of my customers is I send them a monthly newsletter. Okay, so all of those people are on an email list, and I send them a monthly newsletter. I do send other emails throughout the month, maybe like once a week at most, about, either challenge groups that I'm doing or about, promos that are out or about something that's coming. Like in a few weeks, sometime in November, I'll be sending out something to everybody about Insanity Max 30 coming out. Okay, so I would just really suggest finding what works for you as far as good communication with those people. So a Facebook group page didn't really work for me, so that's why I started the whole newsletter thing. I also like to always have people roll over in challenge groups. Finish like one challenge group with me, I always give them like another option to do a different challenge group after they're done with that one. So that was Lindsay's question. I think Callie also submitted these other couple of questions. Callie, are you on the line?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Are you on your computer or are you on the phone?
I'm on my iPad. I don't know why it's being weird.
Okay, well, I can hear you, so that's good. Callie, I have your couple of questions that you submitted, and I was going to answer those, but before I do, oh, now I can see you. There you are. Before I do you have any other questions since you're on live? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so your first question was basically, and I'm glad you're on because I didn't take sufficient notes, I don't think. So it was about so the down line. And so looking at your strong leg versus your weak leg and looking at volume, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I wish that I could just have the same visual for everybody, but I really can't because everybody's business center is different. So one person might have a strong left leg, which Callie is your left leg your strong leg?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then another person might have a strong right leg. Okay, for me personally, my left leg is my strong leg and my right leg is my weak leg. Okay, for some of you, it might be reversed. You might have your right leg as your strong leg and your left leg is your weak leg. If you are confused on which leg is your strong leg, all you need to know is what leg you're on for your upline. Okay, so I am on Allie's left leg. So I know that that is my strong leg. Okay. Callie is on Roxanne's left leg. So she
Okay.
knows that that is her strong leg. Okay. So have a conversation with your upline about what leg you're on. Whatever leg they tell you, that's your strong leg. Now, how do I know that? It's because you are going to get volume from the organization. Okay, so I want you to think of Team Esteem as the organization. And actually, depending on what leg you're on, you might also be getting some of Team Thrive. Okay, but let's just use Team Esteem for example. So Team Esteem is the organization. You're going to see when you go into your coach online office and it says you have this many new coaches in your organization, you can see,
Yes.
when people on the same leg as you on Team Esteem are adding coaches. So it might say Roxanne Bradford added this coach, Rachel Levins added this coach. If you're on the right leg, it might say Christy Jones added this coach, Gina Garcia added this coach. Okay, so depending on what leg you're on in Team Esteem, the left or right, all of it is the organization, and you're going to generate volume from that leg. Okay, so if you're on your upline's left leg, you're generating volume from Team Esteem from our left leg. If you're on your upline's right leg, then you're generating volume from that right leg. Okay, so that's why it's your strong leg. When you're thinking about building your business and generating team cycle bonuses, if you're an emerald or higher, you've got to focus on your weak leg. Because for a team cycle bonus, you need 200 volume points from one leg and 100 volume points from the other to team cycle bonus. Okay. You are going to have, it's like rollover minutes. So let's say, that you have 10,000 volume points on your left leg or your strong leg, whichever one that is. And then you have, 200 on your right leg or your weak leg. You're going to team cycle bonus 2 times. And I know that because you have 200 on your weak leg is going to subtract 100 each time, right? You've got 200 on your strong leg, 100 on your weak leg, it's going to subtract, okay? There are videos in your Coach Online office that you need to watch 17,000 times until this makes sense, because they have visuals for you of like action figure people.
Oh, yeah. And I understand that.
But to get to a certain rank, like to get to emerald, you have to have an active coach on each leg. To get to diamond, you have to have a certain number of active coaches and an emerald on each leg, right? And then so on, star, diamond, and beyond. Right. Besides the rank advancement requirements, you want to focus on that weak leg because that's going to be your volume generator. So I'm just going to give you a personal example. Every Wednesday when I log into my Coach Online office, because Wednesday ends the business week, and I go to my business, my volume, or on the alerts down at the bottom, you can just click on my volume. I look at my week leg volume to see how many times I'm going to team cycle bonus for that week. So let's say it says 1,000. I'm going to team cycle bonus 10 times. Let's say it says 4,000. I'm going to team cycle bonus 40 times, okay? And that's how you can, generate however much team cycle bonus to expect for that week. Does that make sense, Callie?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of does.
Okay.
Because I've seen, so on my left leg, because I want to say that I'm on Roxanne's left leg.
Yes.
Because it seems like there's so much going on in the left leg. And then I have 0 in my right leg.
Right.
So, okay.
Yeah, and a lot of that will come as you're building your business. So as an emerald coach with 1 active coach on each leg, the only time that you're going to team cycle bonus is when that person on your weak leg, when their Shakeology renews, right? Or if they're a person working the business, when they add a new customer who gets volume, who makes an order or whatever. But you're not going to team cycle bonus that much with 1 person on your weak leg. As you add people to that weak leg, that's when you're going to see team cycle bonuses happening every week. That's when you're going to see them start to grow. And it just comes with growing the business and with just adding people to your team. So it's really nice to have a strong leg with all of this volume. It'll be really nice the further you get into the business. But your personal growth is just going to come from that weak leg. Okay. And honestly, so much of this is just going to make more sense as you add people and as you start to see it each week.
Okay. So as I'm adding people, should I add them to my right leg? Like, even if I only have, if I have 2 people on my left leg and 1 on my right now,
right?
Should I just concentrate on my right weak leg? And so I should add like everybody that I have, just keep adding them to the right leg?
Okay, that's an awesome question. I'm so glad you asked it.
Okay.
So a new coach, your first goal is to get to Emerald. You got to have 1 active coach on each side. Then you would think that your next goal is to get to Diamond, but actually your next goal is to be a stable Emerald. I always tell people personally, I think your uplines would agree, because this is what I told them. You want to get to stable Emerald by having 3 to 4 people on each leg. Okay. So 3 to 4 people on each leg, and then you can start thinking about Diamond. Whether you have people working the business or not, you have to have active coaches to get to Diamond. After Diamond, and as you're getting to Diamond and just adding more people in, that's when you want to start focusing on that weak leg. But if you are an Emerald coach with 1 or 2 coaches on your strong leg and 10 on your weak leg, I mean, you'll team cycle bonus more, but it's also, you've got to have coaches over on your strong leg too to advance to Diamond. So it's kind of twofold. You want to get stable, but then you want to focus on stacking that weak leg. So I would focus on getting 3 or 4 on each side, and then from there, focus on your weak leg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Okay. And then your next question was about coach placement for advancing in rank. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you pretty much just answered.
Right. Okay. So I want to say, when you go into your coach online office, you go to the My Business tab, and then you go to My Downline, and there's like 4 or 5 options to view your downline. Everyone just needs to look at one of those options, and it's sponsorship drill down. Because in the sponsorship drill down, you're only going to see your personally sponsored coaches and then their coaches. Okay, so once you have coaches who start to add coaches, that's how I get information about our team. I mean, honestly, that's the only thing that I look at for our team as far as what our coaches are doing and where they are. There's like a graphic downline option. There's like a personally sponsored downline option. There's all these different options, and it's so confusing because people are popping up and you have no idea who they are, and you're like, wait a second, how is this person in my downline? They're not in your downline. They're in the organization, like the Team Esteem organization. They're just on that strong leg that you're getting volume from. So to track your downline, just look at your sponsorship drill down. And yeah, so for adding coaches to advance and rank, get to Emerald, 1 active coach on each side, get to stable Emerald, 3 to 4 coaches on each side, and then start stacking that weak leg so that you can team cycle bonus. Because remember, lots of times as new coaches, and even into the business, just because it's such a great option for people, a lot of those coaches are going to be discount coaches. So they can fall off at any time. They can cancel at any time. They might not be communicating with you that great, and you might not know if their credit card is canceled or if they've canceled their Shakeology or if they've put it on hold or whatever. It's kind of like a constant follow-up system with those people. So I never depend on discount coaches too much as far as stability. So that's why you want to constantly be adding people for the numbers, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
It does.
Good. Anything else? Those were great questions. I'm so glad you posted those.
Well, okay, so today I actually asked a person, and I was like going through all this stuff, the invite process, and I was showing her videos, and she was super excited about it. And then it's like we get to the price question,
right? Yeah.
And I told her Shakeology was $350 a day, and she was like, "Oh, that's great," But then we got to the package deal,
right?
And I guess I didn't know how to, because I looked at the package by itself, like hip hop abs and something else, and and it said it was like $60. And then
Right.
when I went and looked at, I can't remember exactly, but it was like $60, and then one was $20. And then I went to the challenge pack, and it said it was like $160 or $140. So
Mm-hmm.
it just looked like it was more
Yes.
than buying it, with just the DVD.
Yeah. Okay. Great question. So, challenge packs, just know in your head that challenge packs are always the best value. So let me explain. So if you're purchasing the base kit of a program, so the base kit of Insanity, the base kit of Hip Hop Abs, the base kit of Brazil Butt Lift, which is $40 right now. Crazy that that's just $40. I mean, like, hello, everybody should want that. Anyways, no matter how cheap it is, remember that Shakeology by itself is $130. So the value in a challenge pack is honestly from Shakeology. I mean, that's no secret, because if you get a challenge pack, our lowest challenge packs are $140. The Brazil Butt Lift challenge pack is $140. Awesome.
Okay.
You can buy just the program by itself for $40. So if you add that together, Shakeology by itself is $130. Brazil Butt Lift by itself is $40. That's $170. So they're still saving $30. Insanity by itself is $120. Shakeology by itself is $130. That's $250. But the challenge pack is $205. So they're saving money because they're getting it really the big discount from Shakeology.
Okay.
And then that reoccurring discount comes in if they order as a coach. So those older programs are tricky because, like I said, Brazil Butt Lift is $40. Hip Hop Abs is probably like 2 cents. Like, I don't even know how much it is by itself, but the base kits for those older programs are really cheap. But if you get it with a challenge pack, that discount really comes in because you're getting a whole bag of Shakeology in the challenge pack. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess okay, because whenever somebody asks me right away, I kind of want to tell them it's $350 like a day right away.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess like maybe I should tell them it's it's like higher price, but then I can get you the discount. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
I don't ever talk about price, to tell you the truth. If somebody is coming to me just for Shakeology, which is rare, then I might mention that it's like $4 a day or $350 whatever a day. But when I talk about price, it's not until and they might ask about it. Like, that might be their first question, but I just ignore it until the end. And I think it was on the National Coach Call this week. Who was it? Oh, Melanie. I think, I don't remember who it was. Anyways, she was saying something like, really the value behind all of that is Shakeology. Like, the value of the whole challenge pack is Shakeology. But when you look at it, it's like getting that program at such a discount because you got Shakeology tied in with it. And it's kind of too like, they might ask from the get-go like how much it is, but you might not know. Like, if it's a person, if they're coming straight at you asking about the Insanity Challenge pack, then yeah, you know how much it is. But if they're coming at you saying, oh yeah, I think I want to join your group, but I don't know what program to do. I talk to people all the time who they don't know what program they want to do yet. Well, I can't give you a price until of the challenge pack until we figure out what program is right for you. So that's another way to kind of put it off. Because if money is the subject too early in the conversation, they're going to say no because they don't know the value yet of what you're talking about. So I just give them, I hear their story, and then I just give them every, detail and answer that they need. And then we talk about price at the end. So
hard to do that. Like, mention it towards the end.
It'll get easier. Because like, in your mind, part of it is your mind. Like, that's what you're thinking the whole time, is like, it's coming. And it's like, you almost want to lead with it, but it'll get he's just like, sometimes it's like a non-issue. And for sure, I mean, for sure, there's times where, you know, we'll get all the way up to that point. I had this the other day, this week. This girl who I've been talking to for a while wants to do the 21-day fixed challenge back, but she's still on maternity leave right now. And she's like, okay, I'm not going to be able to do it till I go back to work when I have the income, you know, coming back in or whatever. I'm like, okay, that's great. So, you know, they might say something like that. Like, okay, well, now I know how much it is, but I'm going to have to work it into my budget or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just going to be practice. Just practice talking to people. And if you are leading with other things like the program or like Shakeology, or honestly, what I lead with is what I do in my challenge groups. So, you know, like,
and that's what I told them too, I guess.
Yeah.
The motivation and tips. And
right.
Yeah.
And kind of that value of like having somebody one-on-one, you know, working with them. So if you're leading with other stuff, that part will get easier for sure.
Okay. And maybe they are just thinking about it, or, you know, because like you said, I mean, you never know. And
yeah, exactly.
So
yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, anything else?
I don't think so. I mean, I think everything's going well.
Good.
I just set up like a Facebook group for all of the people that have bought from me or potentially buying from me.
Good.
And so yeah, and then I just put stuff on there, you know, like what's going on.
Good. Building your little tribe. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. Awesome.
Yeah. So,
yeah, it'll start there, and then you're like, oh my God, where are all these people coming from?
Yeah, so I'm really excited, trying to extend my reach.
Yeah, that's good. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for your questions. And for everybody else who's watching the recording, ask questions like Callie, okay? Y'all have a good night. Thanks, Callie.
Bye.
Bye.